Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad to have you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you guys doing? What is happening? It's a brand new week. Today is Monday and it's currently 1:30. I am going out with a friend. Your girl is all dressed. Are you feeling the vibe? Are you feeling the vibe? I'm going out. I'm meeting up with one of my friends. We're going to the movies. I'm off today, so I just want to, do my stuff. Thank you so much, guys, for all the sweet messages, all the congratulations. Honestly, it's been a lot, and I am so grateful. If you're a new subscriber here, you're welcome. My name is Mobala. Everyone calls me Mimi. I'm the face behind the channel, and I talk about my life here in the UK, how I relocated from Nigeria to the UK, how I'm surviving here, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, how I'm navigating, about my life as a mom, about my life as a wife, my faith life, my work, everything in between that you need to know. So please do not make it your last. Come in, subscribe, like, share, turn on that notification bell so every time I post a new video, you get notified. And to the returning subscribers, hey, my OGs, you already know what I'm doing. I'm dubbing for you guys. Thank you so much for always taking it out with me. I am grateful. As you can see from the title of the video, this is the part 2 of the video I posted about how I switched my visa from a dependent visa to a skilled worker visa. In case you're new here, please do well to watch the part 1 of this video so you can catch up on this part 2. This is the concluding part. And in the part 1, I talked about how I got my job, how I applied, for my COS, how I got my COS, and this is where I'm going to continue on how I applied for the visa, how much I paid, how much of IHS I paid, everything that you need to know about just getting the visa. So just to be clear, someone asked what is COS. COS simply means Certificate of Sponsorship. It is an electronic document that your employer gives to you if they are willing to sponsor you to work for them. So you use that to apply for a visa where you stay back in the UK and then you work for that employer. It's usually valid for 3 months. I stand to be corrected. But according to gov.uk, according to my own COS, it's usually valid for 3 months. And I will show you guys a sample of what a COS looks like. So on your COS, you're going to have, all your details, the certificate of sponsorship, status, all the information about your sponsor, your certificate number, your current certification status, if it's assigned or not. You're going to have the date it was assigned, the expiry date, and then it will come with your personal information as well: your name, your nationality, your sex, your gender, date of birth, country of residence, and then your passport details as well. It will also come with your job role, your job code, the amount they're going to be paying you, your job description as well. And then there's a very important information there. It will come with something like if your employer will be covering your cost of maintenance. If it says Y, that is yes. If it says N, that is no. So please take note of that. So guys, I'm going to talk about the document I submitted. According to gov.uk, because after I got mine COS, I went to gov.uk to look at all the documents I'll be needing before I apply. And what I applied for was a health and care worker visa. A health and care worker visa under the skilled worker route. So a health and care visa is what you need if you're going to be working in the medical field. That's you are a medical professional, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a senior carer, you're a care assistant. What you need to work in the UK is a health and care worker visa. It is subsidized, it's on the shortage occupation list, it is cheaper, and then you don't get to pay IHS. Every other profession will apply for the skilled worker visa. What I applied for was the health and care worker visa, and these were the documents I used. I wrote it down here, so I'm going to be looking from my book. The first thing I needed was my COS reference number. So on my certificate of sponsorship, that my employer sent to me, there's a COS number there. You need that number. It's very, very important. It's just like your student visa where you use your CAS number. This time around is your COS reference number. The second thing I need was my valid passport. So I needed my passport to be valid. You cannot use an expired passport. At least 6 months validity must be on it. For a lot of times, I'll tell people, make sure your passport is valid for at least 3 years, because most companies, they will give you your COS based on how the validity of your passport. That is what I know. Most companies, I didn't say all. The third thing I needed was my job title and my annual salary, and I will find this on my COS as well. As I said, the certificate of sponsorship is a very important, document that you need. Another thing I needed was job occupation code, which is the 6145, was what I applied for. That was what was on my COS. That was what I applied for. Another thing I needed again was the proof of knowledge of English, and this is a bit dicey because a lot of people don't know this. When you want to apply for a health and care visa, you need to prove your knowledge of English. How do you prove your knowledge of English? 2 ways. If you are, let's say, a Nigerian, a Ghanaian, a Kenyan, you're from Zimbabwe, and you probably have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree, you are going to go through a company called, or a body called NARIC. I can't pronounce what they are called now, but they used to be called NARIC. They will not be the one to equate your bachelor's degree to what they are doing in the UK. If anybody is familiar with Canada, there's something called WES. They will be the one to equate that, oh, your master's degree is equivalent to a master's degree in the UK. Your bachelor's degree is equivalent to a bachelor's degree in the UK, meaning is your proof of knowledge of English. So they'll give you a document. That document is what you use to apply. I didn't go through that route because I wanted to be in charge of all my documents. I didn't want to rely on someone else to do that. I just didn't want to go through it. I didn't feel confident going through it. So what I did was to apply to write an English language test. There are 4 different companies UKVI has proposed that you can use from the UK. I applied for my visa from the UK, so please don't forget. I will speak about it when you're applying from outside of the UK. But when you're applying from the UK, you can use 4 different bodies. Number 1, Pearson. Number 2, IELTS. Number 3, you can use language set. And number 4, you can use Trinity UK. Trinity London or London Trinity UK. I'll put it on the screen anyways. I use language sets because I went online to check IELTS and I just didn't feel good writing the exam. I've written IELTS before, which I passed. I had a band 8 when I was trying to migrate to Canada, but I just didn't want to use them again. Moreover, the dates they were offering was far. And don't forget, you have 3 months to use your COS. If not, it's going to expire. So I just didn't want to wait for that long. So what I did was to go through language set. Language set, this is not a sponsored video or anything, but is a much better, how will I say it, exam to write, in my opinion. The questions have been, repeated twice. All the questions were repeated twice. The result is always out in 5 working days. It cost me £200. And overall, I just liked the service. So I went online, checked their reviews. It was okay. And I just started to write the exam. After writing the exam, I got my results. Got emailed to my house as well. This was how the results came. And I'm going to open it for you guys so you guys can see how brilliant. You're going to do the writing, the listening and the reading on a different day, and then you do the speaking on a different day. I had iPass for both of them. I'll share my results on the screen as well. You need your English language ability, and there's a particular kind of exam you can write. In a separate video, just so I don't make this video long, I'm going to talk about the English language, everything you need to know, and blah, blah, blah. But for now, I went through language sets. That was how I proved my knowledge of English. Immediately my result came out, I just used the URN number to apply for my visa. Another thing I needed was proof of relationship with my partner. My partner, which is my husband, is going to be applying with me as my dependent when he's done with his studies as well. He's not applying now, but I needed to add him to my application. So in the future, when he's applying, they will know that he's linked up to me. Another thing I need was I didn't need proof of funds, because on my COS, it shows that my employer is willing to cover the cost of my maintenance. If your employer on your COS states no, that they are not covering it, you will need POF, that's proof of funds, to show you can take care of yourself. And it depends if you've been in the UK for less than 12 months, you will need to prove that you can take care of yourself. If you've been in the UK for more than 12 months, you don't need to prove any money. But if you've been in the UK for less than 12 months, you are switching to this visa, or you're just getting this visa newly, you will need And another thing I did was to make sure that my BRP card and everything was with me. I had all the information on it, because without your BRP card, I'm not even sure you can apply for it now if you're inside the UK, because that's the only way they can prove that you're inside the UK. So I applied for the visa. When I was applying for the visa, they asked me all the numerous questions on normal application. When it got to the point where it was biometrics, they told me to go through, like, if you have an iPhone or so, there's a link. I'll share the app with you that I use. Immediately I approved all my documents, my BRP, my passport, everything on that document. It ticked my biometrics off. Immediately ticked it off. It's like different points. So once you finish level 1, it will move it to level 2. When I now got to the last level, which was paying for the visa fee, I paid £247 for 3 years. That was what I paid. If your COS is for 5 years, you're going to be paying 551. I'm not sure it's correct. I'll write it on the screen. 551 or 556 for 5 years and above. If it's for 3 years and below, you are going to be paying £247, which was what I paid. Immediately I got to the IHS part, because I'm applying for a job that is on the shortage occupation list. He immediately ticked my IHS fee as 0 and moved me to the next level. Immediately I applied. This was the message I got, which was just confirmation that, oh, they've received my application and they are looking to make sure that I get a reply by so date. Immediately I did that. They sent me another message again that I don't need to send any supporting documents, that's everything I need. And 10 working days later, I got this message from the Home Office. They call them Home Atlas, that my application under the skilled worker visa has been approved. So they told me, you've been granted permission to stay in the UK as a skilled worker until so period of time. They will set out the conditions, they will set out your work conditions, they will set out everything you need to know. One of the things that has been bothering people is if you can take on additional jobs. Yes, you can take on additional jobs, but it cannot be more than 20 hours. It's also going to be written on your BRP card. So they sent me a message, that, oh, my BRP card will be sent to me, that when I get the new BRP, I should cut the old one, put it in an envelope and send it to returns, which I did. That was how I applied for my visa. So how long did it take me? 10 working days. How much did I pay? £248 for a 3 years visa. How much IHS did I pay? 0. Did I need to prove my biometric, go somewhere and do it? No. I used an app that I shared earlier with you guys. And can my family apply to this visa as well? Yes, my husband is currently a student. When he's done, he can switch to this visa. My children already applied for their visa as well as my dependents. So I hope this answers all the questions you guys have. And for people who have been asking, who are the people that cannot switch to this visa, I took out liberty to also learn about it. People that cannot switch to this visa are people that are on visit visa. If you're on short-term student visa, let's say maybe you're coming into the UK to study for like 6 months or less, you cannot switch to this visa. You have to go back to your home country before you can switch. people that are parents of a child student visa, maybe your children are like below 18 and they want to go to a boarding school in the UK, and then as a parent, they will give you a parent of a child student visa. If you come in and you get a job, you have to go back to your home country first, apply from there before you can come into the UK. You cannot switch while you're on that visa. A domestic worker in a private household, if you are on immigration bail, if you are given permission to stay in the UK based on compassionate grounds, you cannot switch to a health and care worker visa. If you are a seasonal worker, you are on a seasonal worker visa, you cannot switch to this visa as well. And for people that are applying from outside of the UK, you can also prove your English ability through IELTS. I think language test as well, I'm not sure. And then I think Pearson, I'm not sure, I'll put this all on the screen. But you need your TB test, you need your criminal records if you're working in some certain jobs. If you need any other information, please go to gov.uk and read all about it. I'm going to post the link where you can get all this information that I got as well. I hope, talking about it has, educated someone. If you need help, maybe you want to apply for your visa, you can send me a message and I'll be willing to, help you look at it, help you go through it. Like I said, 4 eyes are better than 2. Just in case you're wondering, like, oh, I don't know how to go about it. If you have any question at all, do not forget to ask. I am going to be here to answer it all. And in the midst of this, I'm always dropping, tips and, opinions that I believe and what I feel can help people. Number one, regardless of what is going on out there, like there are 1,001 YouTubers that are probably doing the same content about, life in the UK, relocating to the UK. But for me, a lot of times I'm not a sharer of maybe bad news or all those things. Yes, there will always be things that are changing in the immigration system. Do not allow it to weigh you down. You have to always look on the bright side. You have to always look on the positive side. If you want to switch this visa, just keep applying to jobs. Your time will come. Your will say, you don't look at the noise, the echoes of the market. It's that place you are going that you will face. And like I said, those who know their God will do exploits. Do you know your God? If you know your God, you stick with him as if you're super glue, and everything will work out fine for you. If you're a couple in the UK, one partner should start exploring to see if you can switch to this visa as well. This is everything I have to say. This is everything about me switching to this visa. I am super excited. Thank you so much for sharing in my joy. Thank you so much for the congratulatory messages. I really do not take it for granted. This will be the end of my video. I'm going to share some information as well, some pictures. Hey God. In my next video, I'm going to talk about my language exam, how I proved my language abilities, and it wasn't funny. See, if God is for you, God is for you. If God is for you, God is for you. I'm saying it again. I went through a lot just trying to apply for this. Like, this whole thing doesn't prove it. Thank God we don't look like what we've gone through. But I'm going to talk about it in my next video. How it is I got my dates, how I went about it, what I scored, how I prepared for the exam, and just everything I can share with you guys. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me. Do not make this your last. And like I always say, mind your business. See, the one that is paying you money, put it on your head like this. Mind your business. Drink water and mind your business.